that looks really good as well. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, cool. Welcome to the Paint with Josh show, everybody. It's going to be a fantastic evening this evening. I don't even have my shirt on. I'm not even ready. What am I doing? What is going on here, guys? So while I'm busy getting ready, you tell me where you're watching from, what your favorite sandwiches are, because you know I'm always hungry, and I got to know what your favorite sandwich is. So, where are you watching from? What's your favorite sandwich? There we go. Gorgeous. Okay, now I'm all set. Got my Paint with Josh sweats on. Got the whole shirt on. All right. Now, we don't have much time today because we got to fit it all within 1 hour. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We have our dry blank canvas, right? We have our black gesso over here, little pile of white gesso, a little bit bigger of a pile of white gesso. We're going to use a liner brush and a little foam brush, just like this. They're nice and disposable. And just a couple little rolls of paper towel, and make sure you got one little thing of some water is all. It's just got a tiny little bit of water so we can get our brush just the smallest bit wet. All right, it's going to be fabulous. All right, now let's get into it. We're going to crumble up our paper towel, just however you want it to be, right? Dip it into your bigger pile, and let's come out here and just make something crazy. Just start dropping in all this brightness and working it out and around into a little circle, right? Not everywhere is going to be as bright because we're going to have stuff start falling off of the brush. It gets a little darker and a little darker and a little darker. This part literally only take you maybe 10 minutes. We're not going to wait in between for these layers to dry, right? We're going to do it all right here, right in front of your very eyes. Once the thing starts losing you don't have so much paint anymore, again, start in the middle so you drop off your brightest area. Then you can get out here and it'll kind of match what you've already done, right? Not everywhere needs to be the same. Maybe we have a little place over here, and who knows, maybe there's a little river. It starts coming out. Maybe it's a path. Who knows what it is? We get to decide by the time we get down there, right? But we got to put something in there in order to see where we're going to be. Again, going back in, maybe we'll dab up here a couple times, start launching in a few more little things. Down around, sort of covering our river, leaving a little bit of land. Maybe it's a pathway, whatever yours is, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be anything, right? Maybe it is a little river and it comes over here to the edge. Watch this. We'll grab a little bit of white. Maybe just perhaps, okay, comes over here to the edge and goes, just falls right down. We'll do our little waterfall deal right here, right? So we can work our river this way. It goes back that way, and we can cover some stuff up, and then it'll eventually come down here and dump. Now, we're gonna have a couple little bits. There's one of my lights back there. A couple little bits of our splashiness down here. Don't have to have too many. We don't need them to be too bright, and perhaps there's another little piece of water just right down underneath there like that. Little things, right? We can always go back and cover over whatever we don't want to see. Maybe there's a few more little bits. Maybe they start popping up into our little river and they get to a spot. Maybe they dangle down. Who knows, right? You want it to be odd and strange and weird. You don't want it to be perfect. Plus, we're going to go over all this stuff, right? This stuff is just out there as a little guideline, a little baseline to what we're going to do. Back into that same pile. So we came over here, we started dropping off more little things. Having our light come in wherever we want it to be. A couple little bits. And we got to the edge, and again, fell over the side. All right, take this guy, maybe pop up a couple little things right in here just to hide where our water is. And all of a sudden, guys, you got a really cool little scene in what, less than 5 minutes, literally? Less than 5 minutes. Tap this part right here so we don't have any big globby wet parts in there. Just dabbing it up, and now we're gonna switch over to our little foam brush. You guys gotta let me know where you're watching from, what your favorite sandwiches are. And we're gonna go right into our black. Little bit onto the foam brush because the foam brush will spread apart, like the more you push onto it and deposit more paint on either side of that little sharp tip at the end, right? So we'll come back in here, let's just say we drop in a couple little guys. Little things, just using maybe the corner of our little brush back there. Little guy, boom, boom. We don't have to put too many in because most of them are gonna get covered by our bigger tree that sits in the front. Now, let's take that black and go into our smaller pile of white. This is only used to create our gray, so you don't need a whole lot of white here. But we do need it to be a bit brighter than our black section was, right? So we can test it out. That's just about a little bit brighter, I would say. come in there, another little guy, add back into the same little gray pile that we're working in, trying to stay out of your guys' way. Right, over here, over there, a couple little bits, right? Now, let's dab off this stuff on our little paper towel that we were using, because we may end up using it again. Right? Over here, try to get all that gray bit out of our spongy little brush. And then we'll go right into our bigger pile of white again. Hopefully, if we've got enough of the blackish gray out, we won't transfer any of it over into our white. Remember, we don't have to have too much. Okay, onto the brush, very light. As long as it's brighter than your other three, so darker here, a little bit brighter, and then brightest. Right? That's exactly what we want. Doesn't have to be pure white. Just want it to be a little bit brighter out there. A couple little guys out in the background, right? Now, one more time, pure white. Just want it to be a little bit brighter out there. A couple little guys out in the background, right? Now, one more time, white off of our little paper towel. Get out of here. We don't need all that white. Now we got to get all the black that we can possibly use, right? And you don't have to just use the same paper towel like old Paint with Josh. You can use as many as you want. Let's go back. Let's get a little bit more black onto our brush. This is just a black gesso. Liquitex black gesso. It's acrylic paint, okay? It's come down in front of all these crazy old monsters. Maybe we have this big old, and we're pushing in, right? Jiggling the brush so it gets a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, filling out all of our little guys out here. And he's got a whole nother branch that came down like this. Bang, attached himself onto it, right? You don't know what it looks like out there until you go and put one on. Right? Really make your trunk nice and big on these big old trees. Ooh, come down, rotate our brush out, get this big old monster. Just a massive old thing. Right out there, right into our little tree, right? Covering up our little spots. And then we're gonna let this guy dry, right? We don't need to do much more on this big old tree besides that. You can go back and add as many little branches as you want, but keep in mind, these branches out here are not going to be your focal point. You're not going to see them as much as you're going to see the other parts of our tree, right? The parts of our oil paint that we're gonna put in front. Let's change up this whole guy. Twist him over like this, crisscross, bang. Put a whole other thing in there like that, and then have this dude going out behind him. Right? Whatever we want to do, guys, we can do little things, and you can use your smaller brush. You can get in here with your liner brush and a little bit of water straight into that black, right? A little bit of water, making it very runny. The gesso's already runny on its own, but look at these little tiny little branches we can throw off of this guy. Little things in the night. How crazy do you want to get your painting? And how many little branches do you want to have? Totally up to us, right? We can make him look really spiky. He can have all sorts of crazy, scraggly little guys out here crisscrossing, right? Whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna go back over and cover over all of this with our brightness, right? So don't necessarily worry about it too much. Don't be sitting there going, oh, I wish mine looked a little bit better here, there, wherever. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna cover over the whole thing with a whole bunch of paint. Right? Get out here, make our little branches a little sharper, a little longer, however you want them to be. They're your branches, you get to decide, right? And when you're finished, then boom, you're all set, right? Now, you don't want to go over this guy when it's wet. Trust me, okay? Let it dry. It just so happens that off to the side over here, I actually have another one that we already prepped, right? And this guy is the one that we're actually going to paint today. So, this one actually even has a little bridge crisscrossing over it, which all we did was just take that black, right? Just decide where you want your bridge to go over and make a little arc. That's really it. If you want to add some little details of your bricks or whatever your bridge is made of, you can absolutely do that, right? Very simply, very easily. But let this stuff dry. You don't want this wet acrylic and you hit it with your oil brush and it will smear so bad and make the biggest, most awful mess you've ever seen. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to paint these guys once they're all set and dry. We'll get out here, bink, throw this little guy down like that, and we'll be ready to go, guys. Let's get our Bob Ross liquid clear, and we're going to cover this whole thing nice and dry. Every piece of everything on it is dry, right? And that's exactly how we want it, because we're going to take our liquid clear make it nice and wet for our oil paints, right? So let me know where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite sandwich? And I've got another tutorial just like this one over on my YouTube page where we use a few different colors for that one, right? And it's more of a horizontally filmed thing, just like it would fit perfectly on your TV, and it zooms in and out on all the details. So if you want to see a little bit closer how to do this guy, or maybe watch it in another ratio, right, where you can actually watch it on your TV nice and full screen, or your laptop or your computer screen, however you're watching, you can go check out my latest tutorial over on YouTube. It's one of the very first things inside the videos section is all you gotta go find. Go to youtube.com/paintwithjosh. Find where I keep all the videos, right? It literally says videos. Click that little guy, and then it's going to be probably the second one down. And you can learn how to do this again from start to finish, zooming in on every single detail in just about 42 minutes. It only took us 42 minutes from start to finish to do that tutorial. So we're hoping this guy is just about as long, right? Now that we've got it all covered up with our liquid clear, we're going to want to wipe it off. I know, what's the point, Josh, in putting on all the clear if you're just going to go wipe it all off? Well, the only thing is, no matter how many times we wipe this thing, we'll never be able to make it fully dry now that we've got it wet, right? And that's exactly what we want. We just want the smallest amount of that liquid clear on our canvas, wiping off all this excess, so it will slide and blend our paints for us very easily. Where are you guys watching from? You guys are amazing. I love you all. Now, let's get out here, dab off our brush, and I'm thinking autumny, sunsetty colors for this one. So remember, go to PaintWithJosh.com. If you want to grab this painting, head over there now. That's the very first thing you're going to see. Let's grab our Indian yellow right here. Let's go into our brightest spot up here into our sky. Oh, gonna be fabulous. Now, the Indian yellow is a transparent color, and this is a perfect example of what happens. It's bright on the white and it's invisible on the dark section, right? It's exactly how you want it. Spread that color out a little bit more. Watch this too. Bang, right? You can pop the smallest bit of color or really heavy bits of color and change what your little scene looks like, guys. You really can, right? Now, we're not gonna all go for this yellow color back here, except for my river. That's where I want to have this golden falls. I'm going to take my Indian yellow right back and forth across my little river area down in here. Maybe we'll have a little yellow pool down at the base. Now, it's only an undercolor, right? It's only there as a base, and then we're going to go back and light it up. So don't worry about what it looks like. Down here, scrub it out. And again, wherever we go across that white is where that color will appear. That's the definition of a transparent color versus these other two yellow colors, which are very opaque, meaning that if we put it on there, it will try to cover up all the white details and the black and everything else, right? So we gotta be careful. Let's get out here. A little bit of our yellow ochre, because again, I just told you, it's gonna try to cover over everything. So we gotta hope that we don't have enough on our brush, too much on our brush right off the bat, right? Take that guy, let's pull down a little bit of our dark sienna brown too, just a touch. A little bit, trying to get that skin out of there. Get off my palette, sir. Oh shoot, it just fell. No, okay, I think okay, that's in a safe spot. That's in a safe space. A little bit of our crimson as well, just a small little bit, right down there, right? Gorgeous little thing. Let's get out here, start at the bottom. Again, start to let it rock upwards, right? The more crimsony brown we bring up, the more orangey bits we're gonna have. We can decide what it's gonna look like, right? But out here in the forest on an autumny day, I would imagine some just autumny colors. It's just me. I don't know. Look at that. Isn't that amazing what you can do? Same thing we're going to do in our sky. A little bit of our brown, a little bit of our crimson together. All right, come down here. Start from our edge, and then we can judge how far that darkness comes in, right? Do you want your dark to come all the way in? Do you want it to just be a little bit different? A little swipe can change your whole painting. One little swipe of color. Back over here, over there. We're starting to run out of paint off our brush. So we got to go back and get more. Mix them up. Bring it down. Bring it down. Get this gorgeous little hue. Right? Oh, guys. Isn't that just fabulous? Just the most amazing little thing. All because we took 5 minutes and prepped it with some acrylic paint, and then we can come back in here and really launch down what we want stuff to look like. Isn't that just the neatest little thing? Let's put some of this darker color back behind our tree. Ooh, baby, that's gorgeous. Okay, let's get in here. We're gonna grab up a 1-inch brush, okay? And we're gonna pick our lightest area right out there in the sky. A little bit of white onto our brush. And you can see how thick that white paint is, right? I'm literally trying to grab it. It's barely even moving because it's such a dry, thick paint. And that's exactly how you want it in order to do these scenes, right? We don't want to have too much on there. Let's get up here and let's decide. Who knows? Let's literally shut our eyes, right? Shut our eyes. I'm not looking at the camera, I swear. Okay, shut my eyes. Ah, right there. Oh, perfect. Amazing, right? Right here is where we're gonna have our bright spots. You just pop in a bit of brightness into the sky. Right now, the more paint that you have on your brush, the more is going to shine, right? And the white is almost opaque. It's very semi-transparent, okay? Meaning it will want to cover over a lot of your branches unless you can blend it out strong enough, right? So if we push it out hard enough, it'll again reveal that darker color of our branch back there. Now, say you wanted to have just a couple little areas light up, maybe from underneath the branch. This area to shoot down like that with a little stream. Get it up in here, bang, blend it all out, but we have our one little sunbeam that's coming down. Just lighten it up like crazy. Let's pick another spot. Maybe this guy was coming out right down here. Right down onto our little guy, our little bridge. Another one shooting through these little guys over here into the night, right? We get to decide how bright they are. So if you didn't like it, you could literally go back and blend it until it was all the way gone, right? Or decide how far you want to bring your brightness out, or how bright you want to have your little streaky things, how far they want to come down, maybe lighting up our little edge of our thing like that. Isn't that just amazing? Isn't it amazing what we can do just with some pressure and a little bit of paint out there in the night, right? Let's take one more little bit, because every time we drag down here and come back up, we're darkening our brightest spot again. So one more little bit of brightness, very lightly, whip it through there. And again, you can keep going as bright as you want. You want to keep adding paint right there. Eventually, it's going to look like a little sun, right? Because it'll be the brightest little spot in our sky. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, God. It's so pretty we have to whisper. Oh, and Paint with Josh doesn't whisper a lot. So you must know how pretty it is, just based off of that. Now, before we lose our river, okay, let's get back in here. We already lost it sort of in the glare of that thing back here. So start adding a little touch of color, a little bit, bang, just like that. Right up underneath our bridge, right and around. Boom, we got our little bit of river flowing down, over across the edge. So we can even get a bit of our white paint right here, really digging into the pile. And we're trying to load the paint onto the brush because this paint is so thick. Look at it. You can literally be an excavator. We're ancient archaeologists over here trying to dig into the side of this paint. Boom, boom, a little bit falling over the edge. Right, a couple little splashy doers down here. Blowing up, we're hitting the ground, we're splashing out all this little bit of paint. Boom, right? Now, underneath that guy, leaving the smallest little bit of darkness, right? This little guy back in here. That little bit of darkness, which you can then shrink back, right? But as long as you got a little tiny little bit of a line back in there. And not everything has to be perfect either, right? Little tiny little line, get a lot wider and a lot wider as it comes toward us like that. And we can decide how bright we want to have it, the shape we want to have it. We get to choose, right? Of course, we're going to come in here with our 1-inch brush and soften down that bit like that, so it's not as crazy with the texture of the bristles, right? Come in here and soften our little splash down. And this is when we need to very much be careful that we don't lose our little dark separator. So we work up into our waterfall versus down. Remember, we don't want to cover that little dark line. We can let it get as small as possible. Don't cover it, okay? You cover it, I'm gonna come find you. I'll come get ya, right? Halloween's coming, I'll come get ya in the night. Over here like that. Little bits, right? If you want to have your mistiness continue, just very small little things, right? Just dumping a small amount of that white color just to brighten everything up. Isn't that fabulous what we can do? Take this guy, show it straight backwards. Boom, boom. It literally shows that the water is starting to start to get tumultuous as it gets over to the edge. We can even pull it over a little bit more and then go straight down. Very soft. Very, very soft. Oh, baby. I like that. You can even come back in with just a little touch. A little bit of white. So we had a couple little things back in here. Right, they're rolling along. They don't all have to connect. This guy gets a little smaller as we go back. A few little bits rolling down. We can even toss in some really cool little rocks and different things that are going on back in there. Just a little river rolling down, headed down towards the edge. Now, let's get over here and we need to start throwing in some of our mid-ground, right? Making up some of our Paint with Josh plaque. So, let's get in here with the 3 favorite colors that it takes in order to make up Paint with Josh plaque. And if you're wondering, not that plaque, you guys, purple black. It's a very purplish, blackish color. It's very dark, and it'll stand out in front of all of that brightness, pushing that stuff into the background and putting this stuff wherever we want it to be. Gorgeous, guys. Just fabulous. So you gotta tell me the 3 color mix that it takes in order for that stuff to work. And you gotta give me 2 seconds to fix my lighting over there. I don't know what happened to the thing. We were being so rough apparently that we knocked it off. What happened to you, little guy? Oh no! Guys! I don't want him to overheat sitting back here, laying on top of each other. There we go. This guy like that. Gorgeous, staring directly into 52 LED lights like, ah! My eyes! Okay, guys, I think we can do a scene now. Are you guys ready to paint? My eyes. Okay, guys, I think we can do a scene now. Are you guys ready to paint? Is ready to paint? Yes. Oh, dude, my eyes are just blinded. All right, now that we got our mix all mixed up, you guys got to let me know if or what 3 colors that we can use in order to make this Paint with Josh plaque color. Right? Let me know in the comments right now. Let's just see, guys. Here, there, and everywhere. Man, you guys are looking good over there. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And all you gotta do is hit it just one time. Thumbs up, and then if you leave, it's all good. We're gonna come back here into this plaque mix, and let's decide, maybe, just maybe, we got a big old monster tree, or 2. Oh, no, actually, you know what? Let's put our big monster on this side. Let's do some stuff over here today. We're gonna come over here against all that brightness, and let's say maybe we had one little guy, shoom. So we push in a little bit harder as we go down, kind of extending those branches, the bristles out to make our trunk a little bit thicker. All we gotta do back in here, guys. Now, there's a couple ways you can do little trees like this, okay? You can get a small amount, very small amount of your odorless mineral spirits, which will literally drip off of your brush, turning your oil paint into like watercolor. Right? And come off of this guy, and we can start making little, just pretty much horizontal branches. They don't have to dip down, they don't have to dip up. Just pretty horizontal little things, right? Wherever you want it to be. Now, we can come off of this little guy, and I'll show you how to make another one right next to him too that doesn't have these little branches, right? And come off of this little guy with our thicker paint, kind of missing that wetter paint area. And where's my tip top? There we go. Off of this guy, we can start to follow those branches out a little bit, right? Not every little branch is gonna all be exactly the same on all of our little trees. And we'll come down and drop down this way. Maybe since we got that break in between, we can toss a whole other thing out here, right? Not every little tree is gonna be the most gorgeous. Just turn your brush over when you start running out all that texture. Launch out a couple more little bits. Over here, over there. Remember, we're gonna have him next to his little friend anyway. So don't worry. And then if you don't end up liking that, watch this. Come in here like this. Anything you wanna do, guys. Fill in his interior until you got a funky little tree out there in the night. All up to you. Tapping, tapping. We can even make him a little bit taller. Tapping a little bit smaller up there, right? Just extending his own self. You guys can build it as it goes, right? Now, let me show you one more smaller little guy. We're gonna come all the way down to the floor with our spruce boughs on this guy, right? So, we just need a little guideline. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, let's say we came in like this, tapping very small. And the more that we go down, right, the more that the brush starts contacting the canvas. See how we're using the whole brush now? We're bouncing from side to side, and back and forth, pushing the whole brush against it, creating all of those branches popping out, right? Isn't that fabulous? Just by using the natural shape of the brush itself. And then we'll go back in and highlight this little guy, right? And take away a lot of darkness and reveal a lot of your details. It's really cool. Let's grab one little touch of this brown while we're thinking about it, just on the one side of our little trunk. One more little bit. It's just our Van Dyke, or our dark sienna. Just need a little scrape right in there, a couple little bits, bang, just a little trunk. And they're never, a lot of them aren't going to show all the way through, right? So you're not going to see the whole thing anyway. So, get over here, grab a little bit of our liquid white. Let's come over here, and one of my favorite colors is taking this sap green, right, mixing it with our yellow ochre. Kind of makes it much more of a autumny, like a green that's dying, you know what I mean? It's about time for all the leaves to fall off, the seasons are changing, and we get this green that's sort of yellowish, sort of browny, sort of greeny. All these little things happening as you go out there and tap on your branches as you go down, and then we're gonna work them back up into our dark side. Little taps, right? See how much darkness our brush picks up? Each time we drop that color off, we're picking up that dark color. So you've got to decide, again with the fresh side of your brush, how bright you want to let stuff get. Right? How far do our little spruce boughs get lit up as we go down like that? And you can see we used about twice as much on this side as we did on this side. Now, the brush is sort of, spruce boughs get lit up as we go down like that. And you can see we used about twice as much on this side as we did on this side. Now, the brush is sort of useless if we're going to try to highlight with it again, until we go and wipe it and clean it off. Come back with a fresh, clean brush. I went into the thinner and then rubbed it on a paper towel over there just to get the paint off of it, right? We need to come back in with our liquid white. Not so much that we're drowning in liquid white, right? Little bit, because you can always go back and add more. A little bit of our green, a little bit of our yellow ochre mix, flip the brush over a couple times on each side, and then tap into it. If it doesn't look different, then we don't have enough of a mix, right? We need this paint to react differently when we dab into it versus dabbing into these much more thicker, consistently thick paints, right? We need it to react differently so it will come off of our brush with the smallest touch. If you're having to push too hard to get your paint to come off the brush, your mixture is off, man. It doesn't have anything to do with talent or anything. It's about the ratios. You gotta turn into a little scientist, okay? You gotta get in there with your mixer and your beakers and make sure that the paint consistency is correct and that it's coming off with the smallest little tap. And if it doesn't, then we know something's wrong, right? We gotta go back and fix that. Try something else. Maybe try more liquid white or try less liquid white if you're gooping it on and it's coming off too easily. You always have to adjust. It's never just going to work perfectly every time that we do it, right? Gorgeous. You guys, you're looking fantastic. Look at them trees, baby. Okay, now let's put something at the bottom of those trees over here. Remember, what we're all going to go do after this stream in just about 30 minutes, we're going to go check out the Glitterwick stream over on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and everywhere that they stream over there. Now watch, we're going to come in with this little oval brush. Now, my mistake in the past was trying to make this oval brush make a big round bush. It doesn't work like that. This little oval brush loves to make long, little linear, little flat little bushes back there, right? Almost like it's making its own grass. Just kind of filling up the space down there. Almost like a shadow. Holy shaving cream, you guys. Oh, I might just leave it like that for goodness sake. Man, that looks cool. Now, we're going to come in and wipe off or clean off that brush, since I've only got one of them. Every time I want to change between my plaque and my highlights, I have to wash the brush in between. Now, a little bit of our liquid white, and again, that is edging on almost too much. Okay, we're going to decide. Don't want to have the exact same color, right? Let's kind of go more of this sort of color, but let's get a little bit more of that yellow ochre in there. Just kind of dab in with our liquid white. Dabbing it in, you can see the consistency change in those piles, right? They're not the same thing between here and here. Now, if we come in, we can dab in little baby little guys that are maybe struggling to grow because big homies over here are blocking all of their light. How dare they? Right? Now, let's get a little bit more of our green grassiness because I want to change from this. I don't want this to be my whole thing leading all the way up to the front. All right, so let's come in here. Same brush we did our sky with. Haven't cleaned it off or anything. A little bit of my sap green, trying to miss the liquid white because I don't need all the liquid white. A little bit of my yellow ochre, again, trying to miss my liquid white because I need it to be sort of thicker, not so wet. Right? Start coming off of this guy. Just dabbing in a couple little things down here. Right? Little bits. Very horizontally. If we miss some areas, it might look like there's some leaves or something kind of hanging out, growing, especially if we missed this up a little bit more, you never know what could happen. Right? And we're probably gonna put a big old bush right here anyway, so don't even worry about getting close to the side. Okay, a couple little bits. Boom, 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 boom. If you wanna turn your brush and rotate down, you can rotate this little grassy area all the way down there. Looks like it's growing over the side, right? Again, we get to decide what it looks like. Now, let's take some of the same color. We had that yellow ochre color with that liquid white. Let's start working some of these little guys out, right? Little highlights in our grass that are away from that little shadowy area. And we don't have to put them everywhere because we're going to put a big old bush right here. It's gonna be awesome. Now, let's change our brush up, okay? Let's go into that PaintWithJosh flat brush. The PaintWithJosh round brush. Couldn't be more wrong by calling this a flat brush. This is the round brush, and this is what you're gonna wanna do with it when you very first get it, okay, to make it fatter. Because when it comes initially, it's gonna come very tight in this little tiny little circle, which isn't gonna make good bushes for you. So mess it up, get rough with it. You can't hurt it, I swear. I mean, if you do, it's gonna make a better looking bush, right? Let's come in here to our plaque. Actually, let's get over here. Let's mix up a little bit of our crimson-y color. Small little bit of our crimson, just kind of pulling it out. Loading it up onto my brush like that. There's a lot on there. A little bit of this brown, a little bit of our other brown as well. Just to create a different kind of a darker base color. Right? Come on, Van Dyke Brown. There we go. Just a little bit in there. Dabbing into it. Let's start popping off the same little bits. See how these guys are much less of a dark, right? So you can tell there's a little difference over there. Now, by literally, you can either take that same brush and wash it out or do whatever. Or we can come back over here. Let's take a little bit of our cad yellow, pop in a few little lighter bits over that kind of darker shadow, but it's not as dark as that plaque, right? You don't always have to go straight up dark plaque all the time. Look at that. Oh, it's fantastic, you guys. Now, you know what's so cute? Let's get a little bit darker. We're gonna work away from the sun. Maybe we're behind this guy. Using that same kind of brown, mixing our little bit of plaque into it. Back over here, not too much. Not all of the straight plaque, and then we can decide what we want it to look like. Oh, that's gorgeous. Leave a little bit of our grass in between. Pop down this whole other crazy little bush that's trying to reach down and get down into our little guy. Right, same thing. Let's pick a different color. Let's come over here. Grab a little bit of our crimson, which is very pinky when you hit it with that, with the liquid white. Oh, yeah. Oh, little pinky babies over here. Ooh, I love it. It's fantastic. And that's just one side of the whole thing over there, you guys. Man, we're looking good. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think we've got enough paint in this pile right here, plus what's on the brush, to make an enormous tree from all the way up here to all the way down here and just about as wide as my two fingers together? So basically the whole brush length, probably 1.5 brush lengths, about that big. All the way down. Do you think we have enough? Yes or no answers is all I want to see in the comments right now, guys. Yes or no answers. Do we have enough paint? Remember, it's a sticky tree, so we don't have to have as much. Yes, and the branches too. Remember, guys, you can go get this one if you go to paintwithjosh.com, and boy, oh boy, it's a pretty one, let me tell you. All right, everyone says yes. There's a few people. I saw Cosmic said no. I'm in that company. I don't think we have enough right here, guys. But we're going to try it, okay? We're going to get out here and try it just for you. Get down all that paint onto my brush. I know I want to have something live down here. Actually, before that, since we're going to have our big tree on this side, let's work a little bit of grass or something. Just a little bit of something in off of this edge. Right? Come over here. It's down there. Maybe we don't get all the way to the edge, right? Because we know we're going to pop another little bush in over here. So we don't have to work all the way down to the side. Just kind of work it in, back and forth, very lightly. Right? Not everywhere has to be the same color. Little things. Hey, little touch of grass over here, whatever it is. Land, okay? Haven't added any paint. We're going straight in here. We got to go full bore on the brush all the way down. Boom. Down like that. And we got to make it big. We got to make it big. You guys, I don't even know why I ask. I don't know how to paint anymore. You guys are always right. Like, I never think we have enough paint to do the big tree. And what do you guys do? Prove me wrong every single time. Okay, let's see if we've got enough to make the branches, though. There's still so much paint right there. All right, let's get out here. We're going to come into our odorless mineral spirits. This is all I'm doing off screen. And the only reason I do it over there is because I can't show you all right here and do it all at the same time. Okay, here's my odorless mineral spirits, my brush cleaner, the stuff we clean the brushes off with, right? If you dip your liner brush in and pull it up, it only drips a couple times, right? Especially if it's a Paint with Josh liner brush, they're very thin. So we need to dip it in like 6, 7 times and make a little puddle on our plaque paint over there. And when we make our little puddle, it's going to turn all that thick oil paint into like a watercolor. Look, it wants to drip already. No, get back over here. We're going to save it. We're going to save you. Get over here like this. Now, let's start coming off of this tree, right? Drop down, throw out a big old crazy branch or 2 or 20, wherever, right? Wherever they want to be. You can have them come out over here. They can go straight off. They can go upwards. They can crisscross. They can be super long. They can be super short. Whatever you want. It's up to you guys. Bink. Over here. Boop. Over there. A little schlapperoony. Bang. Come off of that side, right? They never should come off like straight up like a T. You know what I mean? So make them look odd. And come down. Get that little bumpiness, little action, those crazy little bits that come off. As we go down, I'm pushing a little bit more, so we're using more of our branch, making our trunk or our base of our branch a little bit thicker, right? And then we go to that thinner version out there, toss in a couple little bits. These guys, you can make them a little bit thicker where they're attached onto our tree. Right? Here, over there, and there's another one. All these little things, they don't have to be perfect. That's the best part about these Paint with Josh paintings, guys. No one is telling you that it's got to be perfect out there, right? If they are, you send them to me. Nothing out here has to be perfect. It can look somewhat like this. It doesn't have to look like this at all. It could look nothing like this. And you could send it in to me, and I'll still tell you that it looks amazing, right? I'm going to come off of this little guy. Zip, zap. A couple little things. Boop, off to the top, off to the races. Over here, maybe there's a little bit. It went up that way, and off the side. Right? A lot of these things get broken in the forest. Right? They're never a full branch that grows to its completion, unfortunately for the branch. Right? I don't want to be a branch. But a lot of them get busted off. Something will fall onto it. It will get broken by another branch falling or shearing down, all these things, right? So nothing is ever going to grow all the way to the edge. You get a few little guys that come out like that, right? But a lot of them come out busted and cracked and sharp and weird and ugly, right? Not every branch is going to be the prettiest little thing you've ever seen. Oh, fabulous. I'm going to go right across. You know what? Let's get a little bit more right out here. We're going to jump. Instead of this one being a broken guy, oh, he just got fabulous. I'm going to go right across. You know what? Let's get a little bit more right out here. We're going to jump. Instead of this one being a broken guy, oh, he just got a whole lot bigger. Zip right down into the light, which will force you to look down into the light. Into the light. Just like that. Oh, it's fabulous, little things. Guys, I'm telling you, if you don't have fun when you're painting with Josh, what are you doing, right? We're supposed to be up here having a good time, man. We're not out here focusing on every single part of our painting like it's just the most important thing and we're just going to pass away if we don't do it correctly, right? No. We get out here, we make 10 million mistakes. And we show you how to fix them and make them look cool, right? It's really neat. Really cool little bush right there, a little tree. Now we've got to make up a lot of dark paint, guys. A lot of this dark brown. Might as well take that. Take all of my Van Dyke brown over here, right? We're gonna mix those guys together. We're gonna grab a little bit of our yellow ochre. much less compared to the other two brown colors. We'll mix these guys up. We don't need it to be super bright, right? There will be some places for some bright spots, right? Mix it down with this really dark brown. That's a tree trunk color, if I have ever seen one, you guys, right? Literally come up and remove a piece of it. Let's start off the backside of our tree, since this is our darker color. Right, start tapping down, okay? You might be able to see it. The more we get down here, and the more that we spread it out and flatten it out, just literally tapping against the canvas, rolling down. It's literally like this, right? We're hitting it, tapping 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 it, making that little line of brown all the way through our little tree. Tap, 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 tap. Some of them, each time that you do it, right, you push the paint together, it will come apart and you'll have these little ridges and little bits that are sticking out, all this texture. Oh, guys, this tree weighs a metric ton from all this paint already, and we've only done the shadowy side. Tap it in, happy right over here. Coming up along our lighter side, right? Not everywhere is going to be huge. Look at that. That is a chunk of skin. That's not texture, that's paint skin. Come over here, tapping it, spreading it out, and it roll down, right? And they don't even have to connect. That's the best part about it. You can leave that darkness, a little bit of a dark ridge in between all of your brown, and it just works out amazingly, right? Now, let's take a bit of our white, take a bit of our brown down here. Let's brighten up this sucker. Woo! Man, that's bright right there. Woo! Right there. All right, we'll come off of this guy. Maybe at our brightest points, we would be hitting and catching some of this brighter colored paint along the edge of our little tree over there, right? So the more that we work in that bit of brightness, the more it will reveal itself, right, as you're working it across that bit of dark. Little things. Not everywhere is going to be the most perfect. And that ran out of paint real quick. A little bit more of our white, a little bit more of our brown. Right down there, right, just so it's brighter than normal. Scrape it up. And we came down here and we tapped in, and then we're working it back across that darkness, kind of spreading it around. Just very, however you see it. It's nobody's painting except for yours. So however you see the trunk, right, that's how you see it. Gorgeous. When I see it, it's gorgeous. All of your paintings, you guys don't know what, that's how you see it. Gorgeous. When I see it, it's gorgeous. All of your paintings, you guys don't know what joy it brings me to see all of your paintings that you guys send in when you go do my versions of the tutorials, and then you send in the paint, when you go do my versions of the tutorials, and then you send in the paint. God, it puts such a smile on my face. And I've had so many people send me in their versions of this, one of my versions of this painting, and it just makes me smile. Send me in their versions of this, one of my versions of this painting, and it just makes me smile so big, because I know you all can do it. You literally can. There's nothing fancy about me up here doing this. You guys can do it too, I swear. I want to get one more of these little dudes right here, right? And in order to do that, we had our crimson and those two browns together. So I'm going to get them all mushed up onto the brush. Drop in this whole, oh yes, look at those things dangling over the edge of that little bit of mistiness, our fogginess. Make it look funky, right? I don't want it to be a straight thing. We want it to be weird looking. So just make it look odd. Okay, that guy back there. Let's get a little bit more crimson onto the brush. Oh, perfection. Oh, baby, that's gorgeous. All right. Perfection. Oh, baby, that's gorgeous. All right. That is spot on gorgeous. All right, let's clean off this old PaintWithJosh brown brush. Spot on gorgeous. All right, let's clean off this old PaintWithJosh brown brush. Which again, guys, they're coming out soon. They're literally mass printing them right now. This very second. They're mass printing the PaintWithJosh brushes. They're literally mass printing them right now. This very second. They're mass printing the PaintWithJosh brushes. They may be coming out sooner than I had thought, but I am just as interested in when they're coming out as you guys are, so don't you worry. I'll be keeping you updated to their release. I swear. All right, now let's come in love this, but I don't want to do the same thing. Ooh, I mean, you so could, because like the seeds would have very easily, you know, blown across the little river bank right there, but we'll go into a different color. Let's go purple. Ooh, I like the purple. Let's go purple. A little bit of our liquid white just out here on the edge, almost turning our round brush into an oval brush, right? Because we don't have any paint down on the bottom side. Let's get over here into our little purpley bits. Ooh, it's gorgeous with that liquid white. And let's go off of our darker color and along our backside with these purpley guys. Oh, look at that, right? Oh, man, that's freaking fantastic, you guys. That is amazing. Let's take a little bit. Ooh, should we? Okay, we'll go into our crimson on top of this crimson-y brown. Oh, baby, look at that. Oh, my shaving cream. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but we said it. We said it. Look at this thing. Oh, my God. Just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, you guys. Oh, man. Remember, this one's available on PaintWithJosh.com. Very first thing you're going to see. Now, there are 4 variants of it, right? You can get it just the canvas, or you can get it in one of 3 frames. If the canvas is gone, there is no more painting, right? If you get the frame, you're just getting the frame. So make sure that if you do get it, and if it's still available over there, that you get over there and get it, because boy, oh boy, I'm going to be talking about this one all night. This one, I love it. I'm going to tap into my blue with our liquid white. A lot of people forget about the bluey blues, into my titanium white as well. Very light little, oh gosh, look at that. Oh, 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 it's fantastic. Holy shaving cream, you guys. That is just literal fire. I'm glad we painted some water, because there's a serious fire in the forest with those. Oh, man. Oh, I just can't believe it, guys. I just can't believe it. So, remember, head over to PaintWithJosh.com if you want to grab this one. And now we got to start coming up with some titles, man. Remember, if you purchase this one, you get to choose its title forever, right? You get to pick it. No matter what anyone says, it's your title or your choice that gets to go on the back, right? And you can grab this one, I think, for $2.35, something like that. And then you get to choose the title. If not, then we got to come up with a title as a group. So while I'm coming up with washing all these brushes, I need you to come up with some titles, okay? So, what would you call this painting? Type it in the comments. Like I said, if it does get purchased, then that person gets to pick its title. And if not, then I'll pick the title at random. So, if you don't type it in, then how can your title ever be chosen at random? Man, this one came out literal phantasmicism. Just literally amazing. I surprised my own self with how pretty it came out. Honestly. Right, and we did it all in time for the Glitterwick show, which is coming up next. Just... Alright. We gotta find a spot to throw in the old bird family somewhere. And then we'll be all set, guys. So remember, come up with some names for this one, and if you like it enough that you want to hang it on your own wall, go to PaintWithJosh.com, and it's the very first thing you're going to see over there. Let's take this guy. Maybe the birdies have flown through the canopy, and they're just like, flying through the sky. And since we've got that plaque on our brush, and we've got all this brightness down here, we might as well sign this old beauty right down there like that. Bank, 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 boom. And since we've still got some plaque left, let's get in here and throw in just a few little things pop out and growing out of our little bushes, little sticks and twigs, little things. Hey, a couple little bits. Boom, 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 boom. A couple little guys. Oh, man. Holy shaving cream. Gosh, that one looks nice. That one, I think I want to keep. My goodness. Yeah, I think I might keep this one. Somebody pull this out of the store. Somebody? No? It's just me? Okay, cool. I'll try to get it. I swear, if you guys don't get this one during the show, it is becoming mine because it is fabulous. Probably the best one so far. My goodness. And I might have to keep the best one so far. I just might have to keep it. Man! Holy shaving cream. Boy, oh boy. All right, what do we got, guys? What do we got? Let's see. Look at that beautiful, like watery, misty. The painting sold. Oh, no. I mean, yes, of course. Yay. But I kind of wanted to keep it because it's really good. Hey, baby. Oh, let's go. Man, I just love when the painting sells during the show. It makes it so fun. So, who got it? Step up and claim yourself. Reveal yourself in the comments, madam or sir. Who grabbed this one? Man. Oh, this one would be an awesome diamond art one. I'm going to email it over to them along with all these other little guys. My God, look at the bushes. Look at the depth. Lynn grabbed it. Oh, it's gorgeous, Lynn. My goodness. So, Lynn, what are we going to come up with for a title? And let me go grab the spinny winny wheel because that's the funnest part of the whole show. Man, that's a beauty right there. God, I might just order a print of this just for myself. Just for my own self. All right, so I'm going to get Lynn the spinny winny wheel, and then she's going to give me the title for it, all right? So, what do we got on the wheel, Lynn? Here we go. Oh, womp, womp, womp. That's my favorite. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give you another spin. I'll give you another spin. Hey, the Glitterwix iconic candle. It's a gorgeous smell. Or might I also suggest Kronos, my absolute favorite of smells that is not myself. Kronos, guys, over on glitterwix.com. So, Lynn, what do we got for a title on this one? And we shall be ready for the Glitterwix show. It's going to be amazing. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, give me a thumbs up over there. That's it. That is it. Just give me one thumbs up, and then you guys can go scroll on, right? Just give me a thumbs up first. Look at that bush. Bush is like gold. It's the only thing I look at. Bing! Just like zip right down onto that little guy. Goodness gracious. Goodnessy gracious-y. Early Morning Light. That is a fantabulous title. Just a wicked, awesome title right there, guys. Whew. All right, this guy down here, this guy over there, and there. Number 1488. We're catching up on 1500. What are we calling it again? Early Morning Night. Early morning in the night. Oh, man. Light. Okay, copy. There we go. Got it. All right, this one was painted on 9/20 of 2024. We're all going to go to PaintWithJosh.com because beyond Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, PaintWithJosh.com is like, seriously, like next in line. So, I love you all. You guys have all been fantastic. We're going to end the tutorial and say goodbye to the Facebook crew, and then we'll hang out on TikTok until Glitterwix is ready for her show. Boy, oh boy, it's so misty and soft. Gosh, golly, guys. Golly. Oh. 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 Oh, I love it. Oh, I just love it so much. It's fantastic. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, baby. Okay. Oh, I don't want to say goodbye to it. Okay. So, everybody watching over on Facebook and YouTube, I love you. Thank you all for being here. We do this on Facebook and YouTube 2 times a week on Monday nights and Friday nights. So the next time you're going to see me on Facebook or YouTube is Monday night, and we're going to be doing something awesome right at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Standard Time. You guys, as always, are amazing. I love you to death. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and bye-bye. Boom, says the Facebook and YouTube crew. Skadoosh, man. Lynn, thank you for your purchase. You guys are awesome. This one came out fantabulous. Skadoosh, man. Lynn, thank you for your purchase. You guys are awesome. This one came out fantabulous. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. I can't. Oh, frick. I just can't get over it. I can't get over it. All right, let me flip you guys around real quick. Be scared. Oh, no, I know. It's crazy. All right, let's get over here. We're going to do the light party. So here's your flash warning. I'm going to get all these tripod legs out of my way. Tripods take up so much room. All right, so here's your flash warning. Gorgeous positioning there, Josh. Fantastic. If you're sensitive to light flashiness, we're going to do about a 10-second light party. I will audibly tell you that it's okay to turn back around and look at your phone when we are done. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Light party! Ba-boom! Are done. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Light party! Ba-boom! Are done. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Light party! Ba-boom! Oh, isn't that just fantastic? Goodness gracious. Ba-boom, guys. Oh, it's like the forest is just like emitting light, like there's just a UFO coming in or something. All right, the light party is now concluded. This one came out amazing, guys. I love it. Lynn loved it, and you can find more like it on PaintWithJosh.com. And yeah, we're right on time for Glitterwix, right on it. If you're not following them, by the way, what are you doing? Best candles, wax melts, car air fresheners, house air fresheners, carpet freshening stuff that you can find on the market. And it's a home run business by 2 gorgeous ladies that I just love with all my heart. Oh, I love you guys. Beyond that, they're seriously awesome. This came out just freaking cool. Just like, I want to kiss it. Oh, I got red on my lips. Nobody look. Don't look. Stop looking at me. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate all you guys. You guys can literally be watching anybody. Cosmic, you're the best. Thank you. Who else said that? Matthew Colton Sewell. Appreciate you. Melody Johnson said, it's fun. I know, girl, aren't we? We just have a load of fun over here. Thank you to everybody who said it's beautiful, and I didn't see your comments. I agree. Talking about me, right? Oh, no, this copy. Copy. But beyond that, you guys are just literally awesome. I love you today. I love you. And, yeah, ready to go watch Glitterwix and hang out. Ready? Of course, we're always ready over here on the Paint with Josh show. I'm going to do my little puzzle real quick. Verification complete. But yeah, I'm ready to go when you